Yep, I'm good.
Hey, what's up, everybody? After a week off, Extra Innings is back. Very excited here. A lot of big things going on in Major League Baseball. We got some teams that are absolutely red hot, including the team that we personally root for, the Philadelphia Phillies. You got the Milwaukee Brewers have won 9 games in a row, and also Dave. Your Seattle Mariners 9-1 in their last 10. They are now. You know what? You were like Nostradamus predicting them to make a run. They were the first place Seattle Mariners now. So what's up, Dave, bro?
Not much, Joe. Good to see you, man. Glad to be back after a week off. It's good to be back and talk some baseball. Let's go.
Yeah. So last week we didn't, we didn't do the Extra Innings show, but we did do the old school last Thursday night on the 93 Phillies. I got to admit that was really fun. I had a great time doing that.
I have to admit, Joe, I had a blast. It was so much fun talking. I mean, going just reminiscing about that 93 team, how special it was, with their 97 wins and winning the East and getting the World Series, and just the ending wasn't what we wanted, but it was still a great team. It was still a great time.
Yeah, it almost has me thinking too, like looking at the landscape of baseball teams in 2023. Like, what I'm trying to think of what modern day team that the 93 Phillies can be compared to. And like, to be honest with you, I can't really think of one necessarily, only because the level of conditioning in baseball has changed so much. Like look, like right now I'm watching the Phillies and the Angels, and like everybody's like in great shape. Like, I don't really see like Pete Incavillas and John Kruk's out there on those teams,
This is true. This is true. You don't really see those guys that were like, beer drinkers and, didn't care what they looked like going out on the field, But these guys today are just like, they're in great shape. They really are. And, not many teams like that 93 team, Joe. That's for sure.
Nah, they were one of a kind. And hey, you know what? What was Kruk's favorite saying was, he's not an athlete, he's a baseball player. And he was a hell of a hitter. And there's a lot of guys that play right now that are in great shape that can't hit a freaking baseball. So, hey, give me, I mean, in my opinion, the hardest thing to do in professional sports is to hit a baseball.
Yeah, I couldn't hit it. 95 miles an hour? No, I'll pass.
I know, hey, like I'm watching.
But if a player is lobbing it like a position player, I'm okay with that.
You know what's funny though? We say that, but then like back in remember like when Jamie Moyer was pitching, like he barely could break a window pane of glass, and like he used to get those young hitters up there. Like I remember Jamie Moyer going against like the Marlins back when the Marlins had a lot of young talent, and they would be gripping that bat like it was sawdust. And then it looked like they thought they were going to kill the damn ball. Next thing you know, you saw like a bunch of pop-ups to like pop up to third, pop up to first. You know what I mean? And then they're going back to the dugout all pissed off. Like, damn, how did we not hit this dude? You know what I'm
saying? Well, I think hitters back then were looking for the fastball. They weren't. The slow pitch wasn't in their mind to hit it. So a lot of times that slow pitch comes, you're popping it up or grounding it out, or it's one of those things. I don't know.
No, I hear you, bro. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's been 2 weeks since we've been here. In that time, I mean, like I said, the Brewers have won 9 in a row. The Mariners have come up in first place. Phillies are red hot. Phillies are 7-3, and then you got the Cubs the Cubs are, they've overtaken the Reds. The Cubs are now the 5th seed, the second wild card behind the Phillies. So
Yes,
if the
they
season
are.
ended, it'd be Philadelphia versus Chicago.
This is true. Yeah, Giants are a half game out, though. Don't count them out yet.
Well, I was going to say we always break down like great rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Giants, their left-handed pitching prospect, who's like one of the best pitching prospects in all baseball. Did you see he pitched last night? He had 11 strikeouts versus the Reds, and he pitched six and a third innings, 11 strikeouts. He struck out the first 5 guys he faced.
That's incredible. That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
It
was good.
I mean, it's a race in that wild card. It really is in the National League. Between you got Chicago, San Francisco. Even the Marlins are still in it somewhat. And Phillies are 4.5 up on everybody. I think it is something like that.
I think we're 3. Let me look right here. I believe we're 3 up.
I think it's 4.5.
Phillies. Well, Phillies are 73 and 58. Okay. Right. The Cubs are 69 and 62. So yeah, you're right. The Cubs have that's four games in the loss column over the Cubs, and then the Diamondbacks have 63, and the Giants have 63 losses. So right. Yeah, you're right. 45. Yep.
4.5. I thought it was 4.5. I'm still not counting out San Francisco. Something about that team. I think that they'll get in somehow, some way. I'm not sure, and I know right now the Cubs are right there, and it could be. Don't get me wrong, the Cubs have a very good chance. I just don't. I don't know because right now, and Arizona is still sitting there too. So it's tough. It's tough, right? And we're only in August. We're still in August, so we still have time. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll tell you the team I don't want to play. The Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks have that look of a team that if they get in could be a little scary. Mm-hmm. Just for the simple fact, they have 2 really good starting pitchers. Mm-hmm. You got Zach Gallen. He's got 14 wins, and then their other pitcher, I forget. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but they have another good pitcher as well. Mm-hmm. Well, if you play them in a best of 3. They could come here, and next thing you know, they take 2 or 3, and you're screwed. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Corbin Carroll, he's been having he's been a little streaky. Like he's been cold last couple games, or the last I would say 2 or 3 weeks. But he got hot the other day. He started to roll a little bit. So I think he's starting to feel it a little bit more. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I love the kid. I just love him. I think he's great.
He definitely is. That's for sure. And you know what? Mm-hmm. Since you brought that up, how about if we'll just do a quick little look at the what do you call it? The Rookie of the Year races here.
Okay.
Now, all right. So right now, you mentioned Corbin Carroll. So if I'm looking at the National League rookies. I still think he's the favorite to be the Rookie of the Year. Corbin Carroll's hitting 279, 22 homers, 64 RBIs. Matt McClain of the Reds is hitting 290 with 16 homers, 50 RBIs. Francisco Alvarez of the Mets, he's only hitting 215, but he's got 21 homers, 47 RBIs. And they're probably the top 3, I want to say, in the National League, unless there's somebody that I'm not thinking of.
No, I think you're right. Those top 3 are pretty much what it is. And I think whoever has the better September is going to win it, to be honest with you. If I had to choose, I would go Corbin Carroll. That's just my pick. But
yeah, and then the American League Rookie of the Year, it's a shame the kid from Texas, Josh Jung, got hurt.
Yeah, because yep.
Mm-hmm. He was having a good year, but right now with him being out, to me it looks like it's a 2-horse race between Yoshida of the Red Sox, who's hitting 298 with 62 RBIs. In my opinion, I think Gunnar Henderson has overtaken him. Gunnar Henderson's hitting 51, 22 homers, 65 RBIs.
That's my pick right there, Gunnar Henderson. I was just going to say that now that you just said that. I think if I had to pick, like I said, Gunnar Henderson for the American League, I'll say Carroll for the National League. They're my two. They're my two picks for the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
Corbin Carroll's killing it. I mean, he's such a good player. And Hunter. Okay, let's put it this way, Joe. Would you have ever thought coming into September that the Orioles would be in first place in the American League East? I mean, seriously. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and Yankees in last. Who'd have thought that? I mean, this kid, this kid in Baltimore is killing it. And I give him props. I really do. I think he's a great player. Yeah, I'm not saying it's all him, but he's got a very big part of it. So.
Well, so I mean, looking at that just real quick. I mean, we'll get into divisions in a little bit, but I don't know if I ever anticipated ever seeing a day where the Orioles were 19 games up on the Yankees.
Who'd have thought that?
Like I'm looking at it right now. Orioles are 82-49. The Yankees are 63-68. 19 games out.
11 games out of the wild card. Who'd have thought that?
Yeah, I mean the Yankees are. I mean this is going to be their unless they dramatically change things around in September. And by the way, they just designated Josh Donaldson for assignment too. So
I saw that.
Josh Donaldson off the team. I mean, and the one thing about the Yanks, man, they got some age on that team. And they got some bad contracts. I mean, DJ LeMahieu isn't the player he used to be. Giancarlo Stanton's not the guy he used to be. If I'm a Yankees fan, I know they can always change things around because they have a lot of money and be willing to spend it, but the future's not looking so great for them right now.
Not for the Yankees, it's not. No, not at all. I mean, now if you're Ohtani, do you want to go there?
I don't think so.
I mean, I know the money's good. I get that, and if the money's there, you go where the money is. I understand that because he's, I think he said, "Thank God Donaldson's gone." Yeah, this is true. But I'm saying, if I'm Ohtani, where do I want to go? I mean, do I want to stay in Los Angeles, or I don't know.
I'll say if I'm Ohtani, I think that the Dodgers are looking pretty good at 81-49.
Yeah. Well, okay, you're staying in LA then. Nothing wrong with that.
Let's see. Eileen C says, "I hate the fact they traded Montgomery for Bader and now put Bader on waivers." Yeah, that didn't turn out pretty good. Although, hey, I mean, Montgomery is a free agent, so maybe they could bring Montgomery back.
Right. That's a possibility. Yep.
I mean, the Yankees got to do something because it's yeah. I mean, Mike, and wow, like think about this though. Coming into this year, all right. Well, last year, Bryson Stott just hit a bomb. It's 11-5 Phillies, by the way.
Wow.
They are absolutely mashing the ball. But anyway,
it's that time of year.
You look at last year. New York baseball had two teams in the playoffs. I think they both had 100 wins too. You had 200 win baseball teams last year, and now I'm looking at it. The Mets are 60-72, and the Yankees are 63-68.
I guess we're not in New York state of mind, Joe.
What's that?
I said, I guess we're not in a New York state of mind because, I mean, who would have thought coming into this season that the two New York teams would be in last place?
I mean, there's a good amount of people that thought there could have been a Subway Series.
Yeah, coming into the beginning of the season, sure. I mean, with the pitching staff that the Mets had, who'd have thought? I mean, they had three solid starters.
Wow,
it's funny how it works out sometimes.
Yeah, quick little tidbit: the Phillies now have 56 home runs in the month of August. It's a franchise record.
That's insane.
Yeah, and one more thing we you brought up we were talking about where Ohtani's going to go. How much money do you think he might have lost with the second UCL injury?
Yeah, that's a good question. Not what he wanted, that's for sure. Money wise, I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. I couldn't even guess, to be honest with you. What do you think? Because I have no clue.
I still think he gets at least 40 plus million. But I mean,
I was thinking 50 million at the for the total. Right now, 40, 35 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the 35, $40 million question. You know what I mean? Because this is now his second Tommy John surgery. So, if he, as great of a hitter as he is, if he loses that value as a pitcher, you know what I mean?
Sure.
He might not. It might take him down maybe 5 to 10 million a year.
True. Well, it depends on. I mean, how long's the injury? Is it that bad? Does he? We don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure it's accurate, but I was reading that it supposedly needs it's another Tommy John.
Okay. I mean, but he's DHing, so I don't. That's what I was wondering.
Right, but if he only can hit, you know what I mean? Then it does make you wonder, you know what I mean? But I still think. I mean, I still think somebody, just for the sheer power and marketability, I still think he's going to get some serious paper. I mean, look, he's got 40. Hang on a second, I missed this. Eileen C says, I just saw it on Twitter. Ohtani hurt himself in tonight's game.
Oh, he did? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know what? There was a play at third. I have the volume down, so I couldn't hear. There was a play at third base where he was trying to slide in there, and he kind of collided with Edmundo Sosa at third. And at first I thought Sosa got hurt because he kind of went like this with his arm, and I was like, oh shit, did he separate a shoulder? And it looked like it turned out Ohtani was the one that got hurt.
Not good. Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, right now, but Ohtani leads the league in homers with 44. Kyle Schwarber hit his 37th tonight. So you look, the home run leaders, you got Ohtani,
that was a bomb too. I saw that. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Well, hey, speaking of that, how about Bryce Harper's power coming back?
It's amazing. This guy, he's not human. This kid. It's what he's doing is incredible. I mean, coming off the surgery and coming in early, and we're in August and he's crushing the ball. What's he at? 15 home runs already?
Yeah,
14, 15. Yeah,
I believe so. He had another bomb tonight. So
I saw it. It was crushed it.
Yeah, he's one away from 300 for his career.
I saw that. Yeah, they said they were counting that. Yeah, as of yesterday, like 297 or 8 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
wow.
They're mashing the ball, and the only problem for the Phillies is that the Braves keep mashing the ball too. I mean, I'm looking at you look at the home run leaders, like Matt Olson's got 43 homers and 112 RBIs. I mean, so and they've got Acuna. By the way, did you see what happened to Acuna last night?
No. With the fan you're talking about?
Yeah, there was a fan there was like 2 fans charged the field. I think he got knocked over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one gave him a hug or something. I think it was something like that.
I don't know. How? I mean, like, not for nothing, but like, where the hell's the security?
That's what I would have known.
I mean, like, come on,
right? Well, the one fan gave him a hug. I think the other one pushed him down or something like that. It was something in that area.
Well, I got it. I mean, it was Colorado. Maybe the security guards were high. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously. But come on, y'all got to pay. Y'all got to pay attention, dude.
It's a possibility. Yep. Hey, Adam, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Adam? How you doing? Thanks for checking us out.
Appreciate it very much.
But yeah, I mean, it's.
But he was like 3 for 4 last night or something like that. If he's not MVP of this season, something ain't right. Because this guy Acuna is killing it, man.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I agree with you. Acuna definitely could be it, but I mean, if you gave it to Matt Olson with what he's got, Matt Olson's going to have 50 homers and like 130 RBIs.
That's true. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but how many stolen bases does Acuna have though? I mean, he's got to be over 50, right?
Let me see. Hang on. Let's see if I got steals here. I know he was on pace to be a 40-40 guy. Oh God, yeah, he's got 61 stolen bases.
That's what I'm saying. So I knew he had over 50 or so. I knew he was in there in that range.
Yeah, that's true. So if you look, I mean, yeah, you think about it, battle for MVP. I mean, my God, you got Acuna's hitting 335. He's got 61 steals, and
he's killing
he's
it.
killing it. He's got he's second. Yeah, he's second in the league in hits. Freddie Freeman's got 176. Acuna's got 175. So
I remember last night's Phillies game. They were like, "Oh, Colorado's up 1-0." Next thing you know, Braves are up 5-4-3.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just.
You know what though? As good as the Braves are, though, I think there's a there's a lot of parity in baseball. Like the Brave, if I was marketing, like I look at these records, right? Like look at for instance, why don't we just take a look at our power rankings here, right?
Go for it.
Now here's the 10 teams, but you got it. You got the Braves 85-45, best record in baseball. Baltimore second 82-49, Dodgers 81-49. Then you got
Texas.
You got Texas is up there.
74-57.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like, I'll be honest with you, I feel like any of these 10 teams I think could win the whole thing.
You know what? I totally agree with that. I'm so with you. Right now, I'm still saying to be the man, you got to beat the man. And right now, the champs are the Astros. And that team right now is they're unbelievable right now. I'm just saying they're in third place in the West. I get it, but they're only one game out. I mean, they're still in it. I mean, that West is so up in the air right now. Can you count the champs out? I can't. I don't know about you, but I'm sure I can.
Yeah. Hey, Paul Spencer with the comment. That's interesting. Wow, we've been able to call him Paul again for like the last couple of days.
Yeah, he's back to Paul again. Isn't that great? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So he says, "What up, gentlemen? As a Braves fan, the postseason scares me this year. I don't blame you, because the one thing about baseball, and Dave, we know this very well from 2011. It doesn't matter what you did in the regular season. It's all about if you can go on that roll in the postseason.
Well, Phillies, over 100 games in 11? Is that what it was? Something like that?
Phillies were 102-60. And
right.
then the red hot St. Louis Cardinals came here and beat us.
Wasn't Pujols with that squad too?
He was. That was his last year in St. Louis, I believe.
That's what I thought.
He signed with the Cardinals in the offseason.
And that's where Ryan Howard get injured?
Yeah, Ryan Howard tore his Achilles, and the one bloody nil game, that still goes down as one of the worst losses ever for me as a Philadelphia sports fan. Like that's up there with a few of the Eagles games and the Kawhi Leonard quadruple 50 million boink pointer.
Well,
and the Flyers, beach ball that went in against Chicago,
Well, it's hot right now, Joe, and they kind of scare me a little bit. I got to be honest. The Dodgers. You got to watch out for the Dodgers.
It's funny because remember, what was it, about a month and a half ago? I think the Dodgers had like a couple game lead, and now they're 13 games up. 13 games up. Yep. Mookie Betts has killed it out there, and Freddie's killing it out there, and they got what's his name, Mutzy, I think his name is or whatever. Don't count the Dodgers out, Joe. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and you're exactly right. I mean, you can't count the Dodgers out. Nope. And it's and the funny thing about the Dodgers too is like they've been doing it with a ton of injuries. And what's funny is they don't even have to call our man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al. They've had so many injuries. You know what I mean? And but if Dave, if you get hurt or anybody out there gets hurt, this is the guy you want to call. Motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, personal injury claims. He's got 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, 1 in Philadelphia, PA, 1 in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and 1 in Pittsburgh, PA. So luckily for the Dodgers, they make enough money where they don't have to call Jason Fine. And plus they're in LA, so they don't have to. You know what I
mean? This is true. This is true.
Now here's one. Here's a new sponsor we got, Dave. As Phillies fans, I'm kind of hoping that we can get one of these Johns with like a 2023 World Series champion Philadelphia Phillies on it. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
It's a very possibility the way they're playing right now. Yeah, sure.
I know Paul Spencer's hoping he could get an Atlanta Braves one, but I got to admit, man, the Braves are playing some great ball, but I'm anticipating a lot of tight sphincters if the Braves got to play the Phillies in the playoffs. I think the Braves fans, if they buy one of these Johns beforehand, they may be holding this like freaking sawdust, nervous about coming to the bank. I
think Big Ken can forget about his Mets, so maybe next year.
By the way, dude, Trey Turner. Here's one too. I don't want to go on a total. I mean, this is a baseball show for all teams, so I don't want to go on like a total Phillies rant here. But right. I got to bring this up. Trey Turner just hit a 403-foot home run. He's absolutely killing it and on fire. And just real quick, like, I don't know. Do you think Philadelphia fans might actually get some props for standing up for this dude when he was really struggling? Because he's red hot ever since then. It's
kind of funny how that worked out. He turned his game around in like a month. It's amazing what a fan base can do to you. I mean, I'm not saying it was all the fans. I think he knew what he had to go to turn his game around, and that's what he's been doing. I mean, I got to give him credit.
Oh yeah, no. Ultimately, the player gets the credit. I mean, but I just thought, I mean, Philadelphia fans get ripped for so many, for being hard and the tough town, yada yada yada. But I'll keep it real, Dave. I wasn't even necessarily in love with that idea at first, but
right.
Hey, it's got him going, and I can't fault it. That's for sure.
Right now, like I said, right now Harper's hot, Turner's hot, Schwarber's starting to come. I mean, he does his thing. Phillies are just on a roll right now. It's their time.
Yeah, well, speaking of something else that's on a roll, it's the out of the box sports entertainment schedule right here is on the roll.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, there's something here for everybody. Tomorrow night, you got Fuji's Philly Flair coming back. You got the college football for holy shit. Look at tomorrow. There's like 4 shows on this.
Wednesday's very full. Yeah, Wednesday's a big show. Big show day.
Yeah. You guys are on Dem 215 boys are on tomorrow night. And then on Thursday night, the NFC East War Room. Are you on that one Thursday night?
I actually am. I am.
Right. Well, yes. I'm hopping on that, John, too. So we'll have some fun on that one. Mm-hmm. And then you got on Fridays, you got the Atomic Drop podcast. And then, of course, you got Paul's Golden Dome. Here's one right here. This is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, they actually College Football Frenzy has a special guest, Matt Groth. Okay, former UCF quarterback from 2006 to 2009. So make sure you check that out. And I got one more here. Now I know anybody that's in the Philadelphia region or around the country. If you're a Philadelphia sports fan, Philly Sports Trips does the best tailgate around. This particular one is the Tampa game. I'll be going to the Washington game. But he also does tailgates for every home game, so make sure you check that out. And
so you're off the FedEx Field for that trip?
Oh yeah, I'm going to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's gonna be fun.
Nice. I've been to FedEx Field many times. In Maryland, not in Washington, in Maryland.
Yes,
it's a dumpster fire down there. It's a bad stadium, but it's a good time when you go down there.
Oh yeah, no, I hear you. I've been down there a few times. Adam Glenn says the Braves don't play good in the playoffs, except they did.
Didn't they just win the World Series?
2021 they did, yes.
Okay, and they don't play good in the playoffs. Okay, Adam, I hear you. No, they don't, against the Phillies maybe they don't, but that's a different story.
Adam Glenn has a question for you, Dave. It says, "Will Dem 215 boys talk about the Trey Lance trade?"
I'm sure that topic will come up. I can guarantee you that topic will definitely come up tomorrow night. Yes.
Yeah, not to get.
I mean, this is a baseball show. I know that, but welcome Trey Lance to the Dallas Cowboys. That's fine.
I don't. Yeah, I was going to say, not to get sidetracked on that, but I think that's a worthy gamble for you guys.
I do too.
You know, for a first-round pick, why not? So
what can't hurt?
But anyway, yeah, no, it can't hurt. So, all right, well, what do you say? You know, we kind of touched on the power rankings a little bit. How about if we go into these standings a little bit?
I agree. Let's go.
All right. What do you want to start with, AL or NL?
Let's go AL.
All right, so AL. Let me see if anything's really changed. Well, I'll tell you what, Tampa Bay. Well, all right, so you got the Orioles. Tampa Bay's been hot. Tampa Bay's 8-2 in their last 10, but they haven't been able to make any ground on Baltimore because Baltimore is also 8-2 in their last 10. So you got the Orioles. Orioles are 82-49. They're in first place. You got Tampa Bay 80-52. They're 2.5 games behind them. What do you think? You think Tampa Bay catches them, or that 2.5 games isn't that much? I mean, it is still only the end of August.
It's so funny how you say that because a lot of times, I mean, I've been asking people that I know that watch baseball all the time, and I ask them, say, who's going to win the AL East, and they keep telling me Tampa, and they keep thinking like they don't think Baltimore's going to finish it, and I keep thinking, and I honestly, I think it's the Orioles. So right now, it's a two team race because I'm really not counting Toronto in that. Like, I don't think Toronto's going to catch either of them teams. So, but if I had to pick, I would say Baltimore. That's just my pick. But
yeah, I'll tell you one problem Baltimore has though is that Felix Bautista, their all-star closer, is on the 15-day DL. So that could be a
that could be a backbreaker. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, exactly. In fact, Adam Glenn actually brings that up right here. He says the Orioles losing their closer is huge.
Yeah, Adam, it is. I agree, but I still think with their bats and the way they've been hitting the ball, it may not make a difference. But we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, look. Hey, Eileen C. Break up the Yankees. Here come the Yankees. Won back-to-back games, first time since August 2nd and 3rd. Watch out, they're going on a run.
19 games out, 11 out of the wild card. It may be too late for Yankees, but you never know.
Hey, they'd have to go. They'd have to start playing like the 27 Yankees.
They would have to have a huge September, like literally, not like lose a game in September and hope the other teams, to catch anybody at that point.
Adam Popple says, how about the Nats overtaking the Mets? Remember we talked about that? Yeah.
Adam, you said that. I remember the last show you did with us, and you said that the Nationals would finish better than the Mets. I can't disagree with that, but I still think the Mets are going to – I think the Mets I don't know. It's tough to call right now, but I still think the Mets will finish better in Washington. That's just me.
Tell you what, the Nationals have been one of the better. The Nationals have been one of the better teams in baseball in the National League since the All-Star game. They're actually up there.
Well, didn't they take 2 out of 3 for the Phils not too long ago?
They did. Yes, they did.
Okay, I thought they did.
Actually, twice. I think they took 2 out. They took 2 out of 3 up here, and then they took 2 out of 3 down there. A couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Eileen C says, "Did you guys talk about Trout too?" Nah. Well, I mean, there's really nothing to talk about Trout.
No, Trout. He's injured. He was. If you want to talk about Trout, I mean, he was on the IR. Then he came off the IR. Then he went back on the IR. So I don't know. Is time getting to him, Joe? I mean, seriously, is time really getting?
Well, that's what I was all about to ask you, actually, because, I when the trade deadline was up, like they were talking on the radio, basically saying how the Angels, if that they would consider possibly trying to trade Trout to keep Ohtani. I mean, I don't know. I think it was just talk show talk.
Mm-hmm.
Not for anything, dude. I know Trout's a great player and all that stuff, but with his age and injury history, I wouldn't want to get and what he makes, I wouldn't want to give up what it took to get him.
I'm with you. As great as he is, I think his body is taking a toll. You can just tell. I mean, every year he's getting injured.
Yeah.
Players like that.
Popple says, Dave. Yeah, you keep getting hurt. I mean, Adam Popple says, Dave, you were right about the Mariners. Wow, they were hot. And then Eileen C with another comment on Mike Trout. She says, how does he come off the IL, then go back on with basically soreness still in his hand? Did they rush him?
They probably did rush him. He probably thought he could go, and he wasn't ready at the time. I guess that's all I can give you. I really don't. I don't follow Trout that well. I try to, but as great as the player as he is, I think his body's going down. I just do. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're right. He is a great player. I got a feeling that like the last few years of that contract, they're going to be like, man, we're paying a lot for not a lot of production.
Right. I agree. Absolutely.
All right, so we get back into this AL East race or AL East / wild card race. You got the Blue Jays 72-60. They're such a weird team. Sometimes the Blue Jays look like they're going to win the World Series and they're red hot, and sometimes they just look like they're dog shit.
We've talked about this team up and down. It's like a train up and down all season, or a roller coaster, I should say. Not even a train, a roller coaster. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but they're only 2.5 out of the wild card, though.
Good.
If you think about it, they're still 2.5 out of the wild card spot. So I'm not counting them out by any stretch.
Yeah, no, they Yeah, no, I hear you. They're right there. You got Boston 69-63. They're 13.5 out of the division. 5.5 out of the or 5-5 in their last 10. What are they? So what they look like? They're about 5 out of the wild card.
They're 5.5 out of the wild card spot.
Okay.
I'm not seeing Boston make it unless they have a great September, which they could. I'm not saying they couldn't. I just think Toronto is just a little bit better. And if anybody's going to, Toronto has a better, I'll just say this, Toronto has a better shot than Boston to make the wild cards. I'll leave it at
that. Definitely. Adam Glenn says he's hearing Ohtani will sign with Seattle. Well, you never know.
That's a good spot for him. I could see him going there.
Tell you what, if Seattle added him, they're World Series favorites.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. That team is absolutely hot. And I've been saying that on these shows. But go ahead. We're still in the East, so let's go.
No, I hear you. And then we got the Yankees. We already touched on them. They're 63-68, 19 games out. My God, I never thought I'd ever see that. Break out the days. You got to. It brings back memories of the days of Andy Hawkins and God, who else did they have? Well, yeah, that was when they had Don Mattingly, and Don Mattingly was out there with a bunch of trash.
I hear it. I don't think I've ever seen the Yankees this bad. Yet they're still 11 out of the wild card. I'm not seeing that happen. So,
it's not even just 11 out of the wild card. It's 11 out of the wild card and having to overtake like 4 or 5 teams.
So I guess my question to the Yankees is Boone fired this year after it's over?
I can't imagine he keeps his job.
Okay.
Someone's going to take the fall. I'm not even saying it's necessarily Boone's fault.
Boone.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to take the fall. I mean, they can't bring this back.
Oh, I agree. Totally agree. But I don't know. But who would take the job is my question. Like, who would want it?
Oh, I think a lot of people. I mean, the Yankees' job. I'm
not saying it's not a great job. I'm not saying that, but I mean, there's so many people prospects that would want it. Who would they go with? Is my question.
I don't know, honestly.
And I don't know either. I mean, is there any prospects that we know of right now that would take the Yankees job? I don't know.
Let's see. Eileen C says, I don't know. I want to say no, but I don't know. And then she says, I want to say I want to say gets fired, but honestly, what are your options for both GM and manager?
That's my question. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they'd find somebody. I mean, maybe even a young guy. Like maybe they have a guy in the minors that they like that they would just call up and you know, and maybe they call up a couple young kids and you know and that he's worked with in the past, and they just call up a young guy and he just works with the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Possibility. Yep. Or maybe one of the his assistants takes over. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
let's go to your favorite division.
My favorite division, a pile of dog shit, the Minnesota Twins, and then a pile of dog shit. The Twins, 69 and 63. They are in first place. They have a 7-game lead. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They pretty much already have this shitty division already wrapped up.
I agree. Is this go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, I was going to say, just real quick, just to touch off the Yankees here. Eileen C says, what makes me laugh is that they thought the hitting coach was the issue, and they fired him, brought in Sean Casey, and now they were worse than before. Yeah, they I mean, you could teach guys. What's the saying? You could take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Can't make them drink it. Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Adam Glenn, we touched on this earlier too. He says the last time the Yankees finished under 500 was 1992. Yes, we're going back.
Wow,
31 years. Wow, you know what's amazing? So we did the show on the 93 Phillies. It's the 30-year anniversary of that, and it's been 31 years since the Yankees have been below 500.
Yeah, my junior year of high school.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. I've never seen the Yankees this bad. Never. It's been
yeah. So
we're so used to seeing the Yankees either in first place or I know one person is not happy. My mom's a big Yankee fan. She's like, don't kill them. I'm like, they're done.
They're done. You gotta make plans for the off season and try to sign some free agents.
I agree. Totally.
So, all right. So the Twins are the tallest midget in the circus. They're in first place, 7 games up on the Guardians. Guardians blow. They're 62 and 70, 4 and 6 in their last 10. Trash. Tigers,
now, let's stick with Cleveland real quick. Is this Terry's last year?
Ooh. I mean, he is getting up there, isn't he? I mean, and he has had a few health things. I mean, I don't think they fire Terry, but I mean,
does he retire? Just done?
That's an interesting one. I got to admit, I don't follow them. I don't follow them enough to be able to really know. But being that he's had a little bit of health issues and the past, and he's getting up there in age. I mean, hey, it could be time.
I think so. I agree. I mean, I'm a Frank kind of guy. I liked it when he was here in Philly. I was a fan, and then when he went, I think he was with Boston, wasn't he, for a while?
Well, yeah, he was the manager that on the 04 team and the 07 team,
right,
the 2 World Series teams.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, what a career for Terry Francona if this is his last season as a manager. I'll just leave it at that.
He's come a long way from managing the Phillies when he sat Scott Rowland on Scott Rowland Day. Remember that one?
In fact, Scott Rowland Day is coming up, isn't it? Aren't they having the Ring of Honor for him or something like that?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Is he coming? He better be there, right?
Did they? I thought they already had it. Did they have it or no?
I don't think so.
Well, whatever it was, I don't think he was supposed to come. I think they're doing it and he's not there. So that would be perfect. It would be Scott Rowland Day without Scott Rowland being there. Right? History repeats itself,
Were you a Scott Rowland guy, Joe?
Yeah, you know what? I think Scott Rowland got a bad rap here. A lot of people gave him a bunch of shit, for wanting to be out, but Scott Rowland spoke the truth. At that particular time, the Phillies weren't spending money, didn't really bring in any options, and they only started spending money after they traded Scott Rowland. So yeah,
Sure.
and he was a great. I mean, hey, he had a great career. He was a hell of a player, and he was a really good Philly.
Were you surprised that he went into the Cardinal, not a Philly?
Not at all. Not at all. Because think about it. He made the World Series a couple times with the Cardinals, and he had a lot of playoff success with them. You know what I mean?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So no, not at all.
Okay. I mean, I'm a Scott Rowland guy. I always like Scott Rowland. Great third baseman, solid hitter. But I was just surprised that he went in as a Cardinal, not a Philly. I thought for sure he'd go in as a Philly. But
yeah.
Well, usually when you go to your first team, that's what you normally go. But oh well.
Well, like you said, he didn't leave on the best. I mean, we don't have a problem with him, but I don't think he left on like the greatest of terms. So
the Philly fans are definitely not happy with him. I agree.
Yeah. So
I hear you.
All right, let's finish up this garbage here. Tigers 59 and 72, 4 and 6, 9.5 out.
Is Milky done? Is Milky done?
Yeah, he's retired. Yeah, this is last year.
Okay, I thought that's what I heard, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he's going to all the stadiums and getting like the bouquets and the flowers and the tributes and all that stuff.
Well deserved. What a great player.
He's had a hell of a career.
No doubt.
I still it's funny. It's amazing how quick time goes by because I still remember him as a young guy on the 2003 Marlins.
Marlins, yes, that is correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
So we got the White Sox 52 and 80, 17 games out. They're trash. Mm-hmm. And then you got the Royals 41 and 92, 2 and 8 in their last 10. Hideous. So,
yes, very.
Garbage division. All right. Now we go to the most competitive division in all American League West, where 3 different teams could win that division.
It's anybody's ball game at this point.
Well, look at here's where that Josh Young injury has really hurt Texas now, because you got the Mariners 75 and 56, 9 and 1 in their last 10. Mm-hmm. Then you got the Rangers 1 game behind, 74 and 57, 1 game back, but they're only 2 and 8 in their last 10. So the Mariners have basically made a 7-game swing in the last 10 games over Texas.
Yeah. Texas is like they've like fallen last 10 games. I mean, being 2 and 8, but they won last night. They did beat the Mets 4-3. They came back to win it though. I did watch that. I watched the ending of that game.
All right. So then you got the as you said, the world champion Houston Astros. You could say what you want, but until somebody knocks them off their perch, they're still the world champions.
That's my point. And that team, when that team gets hot, look out. I mean, that kid Alvarez is killing it. I think it's Alvarez, if I'm not mistaken. But I watched the Astros, and I'm like, this team, they're good. They're just, they're just outright good. And
so
until somebody knocks them off, man, I don't know. I don't count them out at all. I just don't. To me, they're the Astros.
Well, you can, and they're only a game out anyway. So
that's what I'm saying. They're only
75 and 58.
Right.
They're right there.
I mean, they're 5 and 5 in their last 10. Yeah, they won 3 in a row. So can't wait to see you win that division. That's all I can say.
Exactly. Then you got the Angels. The Angels have really gone in the tank.
Yes.
63 and 69. Well, actually, now they're 63 and 70 because they just lost to the Phillies.
Phillies won again.
They're 3 and 7 in their last 10 coming into tonight, and Ohtani's probably going to leave, and they are really going to. Their futures. They're rough.
And they just got rid of. They just put some players on waivers too today. If I heard that earlier.
Yeah, they did. A bunch of guys. One of their pitchers, I forget his name. The guy that pitched last night. I can't say his name.
I know Hunter Renfroe was one of those guys too.
Yeah, their outfielder Gidzik or Gidrick or something
like that. Yeah.
So anyway, so they're pretty much out of it, 12.5 out. And then you got the A's, the Oakland A's, 38.94. They're just
It's pathetic. It's sad.
Yeah, they're crying for the Tony La Russa days. They're way out of it.
Yes, they are. Yep.
So all right, then we get to the National League. National League East has both of our number one team in baseball in the power rankings. Sorry, Paul Spencer. I hope we're not jinxing you. Or then again, maybe I'm not sorry, right? Because I want the Phillies to win.
There you go.
All right, so Atlanta Braves 85-45. They're 7-3 in their last 10, and it's something though. I mean, like the Phillies aren't going to catch them anyway, but the Phillies keep playing great ball, and I'm looking, the Phillies are 7-3 in their last 10 too, so we can't. And the Phillies are still 12 and a half games out. They can never catch any ground.
Well, I guess the old saying is, as long as Atlanta keeps winning, the Phillies can't catch up. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. Phillies 12.5 back. They're 4.5 up in the wild card spot, so chances are they're going to get it. They're going to make the playoffs. And then, well, here's the thing though, Joe. You got to remember too, they still have to play the Braves 7 more times. So I don't know.
I think the division's over. I mean, let's just get that number one.
I guess my point being is, will Atlanta have it wrapped up by that point?
What, when the Phillies play them?
Yes.
I think Atlanta's got it wrapped up now. I mean, the bottom line is that, I mean, we'll put it in perspective, Dave. Even if the Phillies swept them to 7 games, they're still 5.5 games out.
This is true.
And we can't. And we can't make up any ground even with going 7-3 in 10 games.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? And there was times we went 9-1 and we couldn't make any ground because they also went 9-1. You know what I mean? So
Atlanta's just that good.
Yeah, I mean, even if the Phillies swept them all 7 games, which isn't going to happen because Atlanta's a good team. So even if the Phillies won a couple of those series, Atlanta's going to win at least 1 game.
It's true.
They're not going to catch them. But anyway, like you said, Phillies are up in the wild card. Like Phillies are now 74-58. They were 7-3 in their last 10. They're 12.5 out at first. But more importantly, they're 4.5 up in the wild card. So that's good. which is pretty solid at this point. At this point of the season, they are. Yeah. Right. The Marlins have kind of come back to earth. They're 66-65, 19.5 games behind Atlanta. Only 3-7 in their last 10. The Marlins have really been struggling.
Yeah, they've been falling, and I thought for sure. I mean, I know they're only 2.5 out of the wild card spot, but I thought they'd be there, like neck and neck with in that wild card hunt. They still kind of are. Don't get me wrong, but between all those 4 or 5 teams, I don't know if they're going to make it. I don't know.
Yeah, and they made some nice acquisitions at the trade deadline too. But
they did.
So far, it really.
I mean, they got Bell, which was huge. That was a big pickup for them. You know.
Yeah, and they got Berger, the third baseman.
Right. Berger, the third baseman. Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So then we got the Nationals. Nationals are 61-71. 25 games out, 6-4 in their last 10. They've been one of the better teams in the National League since the All-Star break. And I'll tell you, if I'm a Nationals fan, I'm starting to become a little bit encouraged because a lot of their young players are really starting to play well.
Well,
it's bad.
No, go ahead. You're good. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that it may not necessarily pay dividends, say, next year, but maybe in a couple years' time, these guys have another year under their belt, bring up a few more young guys, and then if they sign a free agent or two, then all of a sudden I think they'll be pretty competitive.
They're back in it. Yeah, I agree. I love their manager. I think he's really good. Davey, very good manager. Actually, it was fun. It was fun when the Phillies played Nationals up in Williamsport. I thought it was great how those players just like stayed for the kids. I mean, going down Hill with those kids, and and Harper just staying the whole time until the game was over for the media team. But I had more respect for Washington now. I mean, I'm not saying any other teams would have done that, but it was just fun to watch those players, just having fun with those kids before their game even started. I enjoyed that. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool too. The bats, remember? Didn't they have like a pencil bat and all that stuff? That was
they did. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, they did. It was just fun to watch. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah. So then, what do you call it? Heading up the rear here, the New York Mets, 60 and 72, 26 out, 4 and 6 in their last 10. Did you see they honored Max Scherzer the other night, supposedly at Citi Field?
I heard about it. I didn't see it. I heard about it.
Yeah, that seems kind of lame.
I agree.
But anyway, any of you Mets fans out there, Ken Fry is going to have the Batcave tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So
10 a.m. Speaking of the Mets, though, does Alonso stay or go next year?
I think he stays.
Okay. I do too.
I don't think they I mean, I know they're saying they're not necessarily expecting to contend next year, but I don't see them totally blowing it up. I mean, they that guy still has a lot of money, and they do have some good individual players still.
I mean, Lindor can still play. They have the new catcher, Albert. The catcher that just brought up, the rookie. He's really good. Alvarez, right, and Alonso, of course, like I just said. Does Marte stay or go? I don't know.
Guys like him may go because they got a little age on them. You know what I mean?
But I'll still say, not to cut you off. Sorry about that. But I'll still say their closer that they lost for that season.
That's huge.
That was huge. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, imagine
Diaz, their closer. Losing him was that's when their season went down. Think about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. He also had the best walk-in music.
Yeah. The trumpets. Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So now we come to NL Central, where the Milwaukee Brewers are starting to put some distance between themselves and these other teams.
What is with this team?
Brewers 74 and 57. They've won 9 in a row. They're 9 and 1 in their last 10. They're kicking the Cubs' ass the last few nights. They're 5 up on the Cubs because the Cubs are playing good ball too. The Cubs are 7 and 3 in their last 10.
Yes.
The Cubs are 69 and 62. They're 5 games out. Cubs are the second place team in the wild card, so they're right behind the Phillies.
Yep.
Then you got the Reds. The Reds are still hanging in there, 68 and 65. They're 7 games out. They're 4 and 6 in their last 10, so maybe they may be starting to leak some oil a little bit.
They're playing. Actually, they're playing the Giants right now. In the series, the Giants just beat them yesterday. Yeah. I think the Giants beat them yesterday. I don't think Cincinnati's for real. I just don't. I know they're a game and a half out of the wild card, but I don't think they're going. I just don't think they're going to make it. But we'll see.
I think they're about a year away.
I agree.
They're a year away and maybe a pitcher or two away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if they have a good off, I could see them just missing it. And then if they have a good off season, they're the team that you're like, okay, watch out for these cats.
Does Dave Bell stay or go?
Oh, I think he stays. Well, I wouldn't get him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree.
They're well ahead of schedule. Cincinnati reminds me of Baltimore from last year. How Baltimore almost 500, so Cincinnati might make that leap next year that Baltimore did. No,
I was just going to say, I didn't mean I stay and go, but Dave Bell's actually not doing a bad job out there. He's really not.
No, he's doing a good job. So
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Then you got two teams that are way out of it. You got the Pittsburgh Pirates, 59 and 73. They're 15 and a half games out.
I love their closer, Bednar, though. I love that kid. Because I love the music he comes out to.
It is cool.
It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinals with their worst season in a long time, 56-76, 18 and a half games out, 2-8 in their last 10. They just got their ass kicked by Philly in Philadelphia.
Blows my mind.
We bashed.
Yeah, I saw you were out there. How was it? Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, it was good time. Yeah, good time.
Nice.
So
I saw your pictures. Anyway, you guys look like you were having fun. So
yeah, we had a good time. Well, what happened was my uncle and his wife were going. They were supposed to go with a couple of their friends, and then their friends couldn't make it at the last minute. And it was my cousin Billy's 25th birthday party, so we were all at my aunt's house. And so while we were there, they were like, "Hey, they were like, asked me and my uncle if we wanted to go down to the games." So we're like, "Sure," you know what I mean? So
yeah, why not?
It all kind of worked out. So
nice.
But anyway, all right. So now we get to the National League West. Looks like the Dodgers have this division pretty much locked up. Their Dodgers are 81-49, 7-3 in their last 10. They're playing unbelievable baseball.
They are. They really are.
Yeah, they're probably going to be the 2 seed. I mean, they have an outside shot at the 1 seed because they're 4 games behind the Braves, but odds are they're probably going to be the 2 seed.
Yep.
Anyway, they are 13 games up on Arizona. Arizona is 69-63. They're also 7-3 in their last 10. They're I said, they're 13 games behind the Dodgers, but they're right there in the wild card. What are they? Are they third in the wild card?
I think they're third in the wild card. Yes, I believe they are.
Okay.
Because San Fran's right out of they're out of they're not in the wild card. They're like right behind everybody. So like they're that half a game out. So they're still in it, but
yeah. Yeah, right. Because San Francisco is 68-63. So basically, them and Arizona are pretty much nip and tuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I got a comment here. Rob Hefner. He says, "What's up, fellas? Go Phillies! Ring the bell." What's up, Rob? How you doing, bro? Thanks for checking us out.
How you doing, Rob? Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it.
So, yeah, Giants have been struggling a little bit. They're 4-6 in their last 10. But like I said, in the wild card, they're right there. You know, it'd be interesting if it was Diamondbacks, because if the Diamondbacks are the third wild card, they would play the Brewers in the first round. And both of those teams are kind of like dark horse teams to me. That would be a hell of a series in the first round.
I agree. The way Milwaukee's been playing, though. Well, if that was a series, I would probably pick the Brew Crew. That's just me.
Well, I've been high on Milwaukee all year. I was saying that.
Yeah, you have all season. Yeah.
With Milwaukee's pitching, I could see. I know nobody talks about them, but Milwaukee's the kind of team that if they get in and get hot, they could go a long way, in my opinion.
Christian Yelich is killing it out there, Joe.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too. The Phillies' next series this weekend is at Milwaukee. That's going to be a good measuring stick. Two red hot teams going head to head.
Should be fun to watch.
Yeah, so
I agree. Totally.
All right. So then fourth place, we got the San Diego Padres. Are they the disappointment this year? They're one of them. The Cardinals and the Yankees are by far the 3 most.
I mean, Tatis Jr., Manny Machado. You thought for sure that team would definitely be, top 2 or 3 in the West. I didn't think they'd be number 1, but what a fall off! Unbelievable. I can't get over it.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, and especially with such great motivating music they have. Remember those corny guys were like, "That's Justin." Remember last year?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. How does that not get you motivated? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so they're way out of it. 62-70, 20 games out. And they're like
7 out of the wild cards. They're done. They're
done. Then you got the Colorado Rockies, 49-82. They're absolutely hideous. It looks like they're 3-7 in their last 10. And I mean, they suck so bad they got fans coming out of the stands tackling opposing teams' players.
Exactly. Right. How bad is that?
It's pretty pathetic. Rob Hefner says, looking forward to the Phillies Brewers series. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. That's good. Good measuring there.
I agree.
So, all right. Well, that's pretty much wrapping up the divisions here. We still basically we still got what, about 5 weeks, four or 5 weeks left, right? We're coming down the home stretch here.
A few days of August and a whole month of September. Yeah. And I think, and maybe a little of October, like October 1st or 2nd, something like that.
Yeah. So we're coming into the home stretch here.
We are.
As you could see, I mean, just looking at these power rankings before we get out of here, like to me, it looks like these 10 have kind of separated themselves as the top 10 to me, and the way I'm looking at this,
Yeah.
We both have the same top 10, except it's just the order's a little different. But
I think Houston will make a run. I do.
Yeah.
And I think now whoever wins the West of the AL West, like it's a 3-way race right now. So I still think Texas will win it, but I think Seattle will get the wild card and Houston will be there. They'll both be there. They'll both be there. So it's going to be tough right now.
So I think we'll see. All right, yeah, you know what? Let's wrap up, but let's do a quick prediction. All right, real quick. AL West, I'm predicting, because money time's coming, and in my opinion, championship medal, it plays a big role in September. I'm calling Houston wins that division.
Okay.
And then Seattle and Texas are two of the 3 wild cards, along with the Rays, because I'm going to say Baltimore holds on to the East. So the 3 wild cards, I think, are going to be Tampa, Texas, and Mariners are the 3 wild cards.
And Houston wins the West.
Houston wins the West. Yeah,
I agree with that. I can see that. Yeah, I can't disagree.
And then in the National League, well, you figure the East and the West divisions are already pretty wrapped up.
Well, Atlanta definitely.
Yeah, honestly, and I think Milwaukee wins the Central. So I think all 3 divisions are going to stay exactly where they are.
Okay.
I think the Phillies are the number 1 wild card.
Okay.
The second wild card, you know what? I'll say the Cubs still. I think the Cubs hang on to that. And then the third wild card,
I'm going to go with San Francisco. That's just me.
Okay, you know what? I'll go Arizona, but I definitely can see where it be San Francisco. That's the pre-September prediction, because next time we do this show, it's going to be the night after Labor Day, and we'll be really.
That's right. Yep.
So, all right. Well, listen, we're going to get ready to wrap up here. Like I always say, man, good luck to anybody out there that plays fantasy baseball. I know I had a fantasy football draft this past Sunday, and I got another one this Sunday.
I just had 1.5 hour ago.
Yeah. So it's it's fantasy football season, but there's a lot of people out there playing fantasy baseball still. So good luck to all your teams in the home stretch. And basically, good luck to all your teams out there, except for the Braves, Marlins, Nationals, Mets, and now I'm going to say Cubs, Giants, Reds, Diamondbacks. Good luck to y'all, but good luck to everybody but those teams.
There is a red hot Phillies team right now. They very are really. They're hot. They're very hot.
So. All right. Well, listen, we'll see you next week. Have a great Labor Day, and we'll be back on Tuesday. Have a great week.
Enjoy your holiday, everybody. See you.